so terrified right now. You're not even a little bit scared right now?
No. What was that noise?
Hello? What was that?
Boo, it's me, Tituba, the ghost.
All right, so this is the Jonathan Corwin house, one of the most notorious witchcraft judges, but it's more known in a touristy aspect as the witch house now, as you can see the signs right there.
Yeah, they're really going for that.
It definitely has a creepy vibe to it.
It looks pretty cozy, right?
You have a different standard of cozy, I think, than normal
It's
people.
muted gray. Look, on a wintry day like this, that looks very welcoming.
It's a black house, snow hitting it. To me, it's more eerie, but you know, I see things a little different than you. So you know what, let's just go in. Yeah.
You're going in first?
Yeah, why not?
Wow, brave.
This week on BuzzFeed Unsolved, we explore the city of Salem, home of the Salem witch trials, as part of our ongoing investigation into the question, are ghosts real? Right now, we're about to head out to some of the key locations that played a big part in one of the darkest blemishes in American history. And later, I may even present some theories as to why the witch trials may have happened.
That sounds about right.
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. This is gonna be a blast.
Death, hangings, this has it all.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into it. In 1641, the Puritan legal code was created and established a hierarchy of crimes. Starting with the worst, the list goes idolatry, witchcraft, blasphemy, murder, poisoning, and bestiality.
These people are, no, they're too, blasphemy. You can kill a man, but if you're like, God stinks.
Ah, Jesus Christ, blow his head off.
Yeah. How many people were poisoning each other?
I don't know, how many people were fucking donkeys back then?
Everyone's always like, how could they have done all this? How could they have gone so crazy and killed so many innocent people? Well, here's why. Because they're all insane.
Let's jump forward to January 1692, when 9-year-old Elizabeth Parris and 11-year-old Abigail Williams began exhibiting strange behavior. Elizabeth and Abigail were the daughter and niece of Reverend Samuel Parris, respectively. Reverend Parris was Salem Village's first ordained minister. The two girls' behavior included making odd sounds and screaming, contorting their bodies, and throwing objects. Elizabeth and Abigail reported that an invisible being was biting and pinching them. 11-year-old Ann Putnam and other girls in Salem began acting similarly shortly after.
This may come up in the theories, but is it possible that these girls were very bored?
They were lost in the sauce. That could be the footnote of the whole Salem witch trial.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. Their behavior was attributed to supernatural causes, according to a doctor's diagnosis. Though, it's worth noting that there was only one doctor in Salem Village, and he could most likely read, but not write.
Oh, that's not good.
No, it's not.
Doctors need to write.
Yeah, I mean, how's he writing prescriptions?
He's not. He's just pointing at things and saying, yup, that's a witch.
On February 9th, 1692, the girls accused 3 women for causing their bizarre outbursts after Jonathan Corwin and John Hathorne, both magistrates, pressured the girls into naming the people afflicting them. And as mentioned before, Judge Jonathan Corwin's house is one of the places we're visiting today. So, this is the actual interior of the house back in the day. This is the parlor. This is apparently where he would discuss accusations.
In front of a big, cozy fireplace.
How are you feeling right now, Shane? Is this not cool to you to be in a place?
I love history, so.
Yeah, this is just history brought to life.
Yeah.
Shall we explore more of this house?
Yeah.
Rickety stairs. So right now we are in the master bedroom. This is where Jonathan and his wife Elizabeth would have slept.
If he could sleep at night.
He slept like a baby, to be honest. In his mind, he was doing the right thing.
Doing the Lord's work.
He was doing the Lord's work, exactly. I know you're not big on energy, but I mean, like, you can kind of feel that there's.
You're nervous right now?
I don't feel amazing, let's just say that.
Right.
I mean, just considering all the things that happened. But you don't feel like a little strange that like one of the most notorious figures in the Salem witch trials slept right there?
It's neat. It's like being in Lincoln's bedroom.
You just compared Jonathan Corwin to Abraham Lincoln?
I mean, they both lived a long time ago.
That's literally the only 2 things they have in common. Returning to the 3 accused women, 2 of them, named Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, both professed their innocence and would eventually die as a result of the trials. However, the other accused was a woman named Tituba, the the slave of Reverend Paris. Strangely, unlike the other two accused women, Tituba actually admitted to afflicting the girls, saying, quote, "The devil came to me and bid me serve him," end quote. So right now we're looking for the foundations of the former house of Reverend Paris, his family, and his slave Tituba.
So this is sort of where this was a hotbed.
This is where it all began. According to a plaque that we found on site, it was in this house in 1692 that Tituba, Reverend Paris's slave, allegedly told the girls household stories of witchcraft.
This is crazy.
This is it. And we could actually go inside the house.
Let's go inside the house.
After you, sir. Holy shit, dude.
Ryan, I'm going in. Yeah, if there was someone practicing witchcraft in this house, you would know.
Yeah. I wonder if that was another part of it. This may have been only a part of the house they salvaged. They had to dig it up. And this may just be even just a rough outline of the foundation. Actually, let me just take a rough EMF reading. Right after I mentioned taking an EMF reading, our audio recorder picks up a voice possibly saying, "Take it." Actually, let me just take a rough. Is this the voice of Reverend Paris?
Do you believe in this stuff?
This is,
stuff,
apparently some people think that ghosts can manipulate electromagnetic fields. I don't know how much I buy into it, but I'm not gonna say this is definitively a thing. Right now, it's doing normal readings. Apparently, if it goes over 2 milligauss, then we're in some paranormal area, but right now it looks like it's 0. So you can see right there.
0.1.
0. It's worth mentioning that there are some who believe Tituba was forced to confess and thereby fabricated her testimony. Regardless, Tituba's testimony is the longest in the entire Salem witch trials. She also detailed visions of eerie animals, including red cats, yellow birds, and black dogs. Perhaps most importantly, Tituba added that other witches were also working to harm the Puritans in Salem. With this startling confession, the trials and accusations vaulted forward, giving them a purpose and mission. Tituba was also very accommodating to the judges and claimed to go blind at one moment, a sign that the devil was punishing her for speaking so candidly about him. This showed she was at least trying to fight him. After spending a year and 3 months in jail, Tituba was not indicted and was the very last of the accused to be released. Right now we're referring to the woman named Tituba. We know you admitted to some things that you may not have actually done. There's good evidence to show that you didn't actually do those things you were forced to. Do you have anything to say about that?
Do you think you're gonna get physically harmed out here? Is that part of it?
I don't know, her owners were evil pieces of shit. Ooh, but
They lived here too, Ryan.
I know.
They're probably here and they heard you.
I don't like you that, well, okay, I'm making it worse. Let's find some ghosts.
Tituba or the Reverend Paris or any of his family, we are here to communicate with you. If ghosts are real, then call our bluff.
They wouldn't know they're a ghost.
Oh, none of them know?
Right after I suggest the dead are unaware they are ghosts, our audio recorder picks up this voice.
Oh, none of them know? None of them know?
I don't think they do.
So that's a ghost saying what? And just this particular ghost happens to have a cartoon voice? So if
He
someone's
does
like,
sound a little bit like Lil Jon.
what?
He's upset. He's
What?
upset at the notion that he's a ghost. If I were to tell you right now you're dead,
I
you
would
probably would
absolutely
say,
say,
what? Skipping forward, the infamous Special Court of Oyer and Terminer was established by Governor William Phips on May 27, 1692. 8 girls from Salem were afflicted with witchcraft and making accusations. In the court, someone would warn that a witch was about to manipulate a victim, and then the victim would begin to act strangely. In the first trial of this court, Bridget Bishop, an older woman of the community that many considered to be an immoral gossip, was determined guilty of witchcraft and later became the first person executed in the Salem witch trials. Between the months of July and September 1692, 18 more people were found guilty and executed, including 4 men, a rare occurrence in witch trials of the past. One of the accused men was a man named George Burroughs, a Harvard-educated minister who was accused by other alleged witches from Andover of being their mastermind. The claims made in court against Burroughs range from bizarre to batshit. The accusers claimed that he was biting them during their testimony. Their bite marks allegedly matched up with Burroughs' teeth.
I guess they would have to pre-bite themselves?
Yeah, it's not that hard. They probably just bit themselves and then showed it, and they were like, yep, it looks like teeth. Hang them.
Yeah, it's true. Don't hang them, but it is peculiar.
They didn't have like a dentist on hand. The doctors in town can't even write.
Many people in the court, not just the accusers, claimed to see spirits in the room. One girl claimed the spirits were faces of Burroughs' deceased wives, colored as red as blood, and thirsting for justice to be served to their husband. Finally, the possibility that Burroughs had used an invisibility cloak given to him by the devil was suggested by the Chief Justice.
Oh my Jesus Christ. This is so upsetting.
It's upsetting, but it's kind of funny when you think about it. Like,
Oh my God. If you're an educated man from Harvard who is like, well, surely the Chief Justice will have something reasonable to say about this. Chief Justice, what have you to say?
I seen him use an invisibility cloak. I know he gave it to him, the devil.
Before being executed, Burroughs made an emotional speech where he recited the Lord's Prayer without any mistakes. Witches were not supposed to be able to do that, which sowed the seeds of doubt in the crowd gathered.
Apparently this whole site was also the home of George Burroughs.
If you're here, make yourselves known. I'm gonna turn out the light. Or just like wiggle some snow around. There's a lot happening.
All right, I guess it's my turn.
Yeah. Good luck.
I'm gonna scan around. If there's anybody in here right now with me, show me a sign. Maybe move something. Say something to me. I'm gonna turn off my light now. And I'm just gonna let you guys speak. Don't push me though. All right, here we go. All right, I'm gonna get out of here really quick. But since I'm leaving, I'm gonna let you know how I kind of feel about you.
As I announce that I'm leaving, we pick up another voice possibly saying, I'm not.
But since I'm leaving,
No.
no.
I think it's just people, like it's breathing or it's wind. I honestly think if you want a voice, find a voice.
That's
Don't give us
clear-
garbage.
That's clearly a voice.
It's not a voice.
Okay. I found it to be compelling that it's responding intelligently to things that I'm saying.
Also, I mean, did you hear that? That was my shoes rubbing together.
Yeah, I know what that
You didn't
sounds
think that
like.
was a ghost?
I'm able to discern what shoes and voices sound like.
Right.
I think I am.
I don't think you
I think
are.
I am.
On October 3rd, 1692, Increase Mather implored the court not to consider spectral evidence in the trials. Around the same time, Governor Phipps's wife was brought in for interrogation. If you'll recall, Governor Phipps was the man who created the infamous Court of Oyer and Terminer. After Mather's statement and Phipps's wife being interrogated, Phipps released some of the people jailed for witchcraft, halted all further arrests, and replaced the Court of Oyer and Terminer with the Superior Court of Judicature, which was not permitted to consider testimonies of spectral evidence. Overall, 20 people were executed in the Salem witch trials. 14 of the 20 were women, and only 6 were men. Though official numbers vary, it's possible that a further 13 people perished while in jail on charges of witchcraft. Oddly, all of the accusers were women between 9 and 20 years old. An unusual fact due to the fact that most witch trials saw men doing the majority of the accusations.
I just want to say, when an entire community is basing their decisions around the decisions of 8 little girls,
Yeah, don't listen to children.
when the hell in history would that ever happen again where a bunch of high school kids go, hey, I think we should burn that building down. I don't like it. It's an evil building. And everyone goes, yeah.
Most importantly, none of the executed ever admitted to witchcraft. One interesting thing to note is that almost all of the people that were executed were not given a proper burial, and instead were buried in unmarked graves somewhere in the area. Where those graves lie, nobody knows. Some believe they may be buried somewhere on Gallows Hill, but regardless, according to Spellbound Tours, a Salem tour company, Gallows Hill has the reputation of being extremely haunted.
So this is Gallows Hill.
I've actually always thought it's spookier to imagine seeing a ghost in the middle of the day.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's spooky to see a ghost regardless. All right, this seems like a good spot. We're near the top of the hill. Is there anybody up here besides birds that wants to talk to me and my stupid friend? I don't think this is gonna work. I think we're gonna have to go to an alternative method.
Okay.
It occurred to me, the reason why ghosts may not talk to me and you is because you're donning a stupid jean jacket and I'm in this peak coat, but if I was in period specific clothing, maybe they'll actually be friendlier to us. All right.
Well, I feel good. There's
You
no
don't look-
pockets on this. I don't know what to do with my hands.
You don't look too happy.
Come on, ghosts.
Act more natural. Be a Puritan.
This is so dumb.
If there's anybody that wants to come talk to us, now is the time. I heard what happened here. I'm sorry to hear that.
You're ghosts.
What? We were engaging in a nice, soft conversation. You
Yeah,
broke
we're-
it.
we're your
You gotta
friends.
break the news to them a little bit better. They don't even know they're dead. That's why we're dressed up like this.
So we're tricking them. We're alive, just like you. Let's go down to the pub.
God, you're the worst.
So not a smashing success.
No, this didn't work out as well as I thought it would. I really thought it was gonna work.
We could have researched a little better.
Nobody knows why the witch trials occurred, but there are theories, so let's quickly go over a few. The first theory comes from Harvard PhD student Emily Oster, who points to an economic explanation. In the Journal of Economic Perspectives, Emily Oster suggests that the Little Ice Age that lasted between 1550 and 1800 and intensified between 1680 and 1730 caused economic problems that encouraged the population to blame one another for their hardship.
Basically, this theory is they just got bored or they needed an outlet.
Yeah, this is what happens when people are passive aggressive.
This is what
full-time.
happens when people don't have hobbies.
Yeah.
I think that everyone needs a hobby, and if you don't have one, odds are you're probably gonna start.
Well, they
killing
didn't have
people.
anything else to do.
That's what I'm saying. They
just
could have
played
played
fingers.
They could have played ice soccer or something.
The second theory comes from Linda Caporail, that the afflicted girls could have been exposed to a kind of fungus called ergot, which can be found in grains like rye, which cause convulsive ergotism. Convulsive ergotism effects include hallucinations, which are apparently similar to that of LSD, muscle contractions that resemble seizures, vertigo, and crawling and tingling sensations. In addition to rye being commonly grown in the colony, the moisture in the air and the grain's lengthy storage time could have increased the likelihood of ergot infestation. However, the girls showed no other visible signs of this illness, which include disintegrating fingertips.
I don't buy that one.
I mean, I think it's nice that someone maybe did their homework and maybe could provide a medical solution to this other than, oh, people are crazy sometimes.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more fun to believe that humans are capable of some truly horrific things.
The third theory is that mass hysteria played a part in the witch trials. It's accepted in most literature written about the Salem witch trials that some level of hysteria was at work in Salem during this time. The word hysteria is used throughout most descriptions of the Salem witch trials.
This is like those people in France.
Oh God, you and the fucking people in France.
It's a real thing that happened. All those people danced till they died.
loosely. It's kind of loosely true.
Not loose. Do you need to look up the body count on that thing?
I'll look it up
Those
again.
people fucking danced until they died.
That's true. Well, if you're gonna go out, that's a good way to go out.
Yeah, that's true.
The fourth theory comes from one of the people in the community at the time of the trials. A Salem merchant named Robert Califf accused Reverend Paris of exploiting the trials for socio-political gain in the community. He proposed that Reverend Paris forced his slave Tituba to admit to witchcraft so he could use the resulting paranoia to seize back his diminishing power in Salem Village.
I love this theory.
It's a pretty strong one.
It's a strong one, and it came from someone in the community at that time.
Yeah,
I wonder if he got shot after he said that.
I don't know.
I haven't heard about him since, so he probably died.
To wrap up the theories, and I hesitate to even list it as a theory, but I imagine, considering the fact that people at the time believed it, and because there's been so many movies about it, there are some out there that actually entertain the idea that Salem witches were a real thing. And I would like to express my own opinion on this notion. No fucking way.
Great, thank you. Thank you for once.
Wait, did you actually entertain the idea that I may believe in witchcraft?
It's really not that outlandish to
think it's-
think that you would believe that.
In the end, nobody knows for sure what caused the Salem witch trials, but what is known for certain are the unjust fates of the victims. In 1957, the state of Massachusetts apologized for the Salem witch trials. In 1992, 300 years after the trials, The Witch Trials Memorial in Salem was dedicated by Nobel laureate, author, and Holocaust survivor Elie Wiesel.
All right, so right now we're at the Witch Trial Memorials. Every one of these benches has a name on it of someone who was either executed or died in jail during the trials. As you can see, it's quite a bit. Obviously, these are here because they don't know where the bodies are for most of them. So
Oh, yeah.
that's why the benches are here. Let's see if we can clear a couple. Yeah, just Mary Parker hanged September 22nd.
It's a lot of people.
This is pretty crazy. You know, when you're standing in here and like in this little empty courtyard and you just see all the benches, it really is spooky, but also like beautiful in a way. This is eerie.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I feel uncomfortable just because of the avalanche of history that's happening and converging in this spot, or if it's because there's something here, but either way, I'd like to leave.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
After all these years, the questions remain. Are there spirits left behind from Salem's troubled history? Why did these trials even happen? Both questions may forever remain unsolved.
All I'm saying, if there's a town full of people who are all like you, this is what happens.
I feel like if there was
People start dying.
if there was a town of people who all thought like I did back in the day, I don't think anything would get done because they'd hear a lot of the howling in the woods and they'd just be like, oh fuck, and they'd just run,
No, they'd
and
start
they'd all
killing each
eventually die by themselves.
They'd
somewhere
start
in the
killing
woods.
each other. If there were a town full of me in the Puritan times, we'd have landed on the moon in 1790.
I don't think so.
Absolutely.
I think you'd all just sit around and talk bullshit all day. And just sit in the town circle and, you know,
we'd talk about.
stroke each other about mathematical equations
I was
and
going to
science.
say math, but yeah.
There you go.